Hey everybody, it's Moose Trader again here, and today we're gonna walk through some futures, some trades maybe that I took today. I really didn't do that well today. I mean, legit, I lost like $15, but honestly, I was up close to $400, and I ended up taking some very dumb trades. The new chart on the left here is my footprint chart that I used to use all the time, but I think I'm gonna start pairing it with my other charts now. Again, the whole idea behind my trading strategy is pairing different charts so you can see I have a 12 range here, a 4 range, and again, a 12 range here as well. I trade the S&P 500, so the ES. When you trade that specific market, a $1 move is worth $50. A 25-cent move or a tick is worth $12.50. When you make a $1 move or a 1 point move, like I said, it's worth $50. What I look for are pivot points, aka what I call supply and demand. The way that I look at it specifically is that we try to find a candle like this one right here that is quote unquote basing out and with very, very aggressive buyers coming out. The whole idea is that I want to look to take a trade on the retest, like right here, and scalp up to somewhere in that previous area or for a smaller profit. Again, these zones are formed intraday and also are left tested or untested from previous areas. Like you can see here, there's this zone here was created from this initial move. So when we came back down here, we had buyers come through. My problem today was is that we were kind of fading throughout the whole day, and I kept on kind of, I had some good trades in the morning. I think I took this long. I think I ended up taking this short as well here too. But my problem was is that I think I ended up getting long around here, thinking they were consolidating, popping up. And I think I ended up getting long around here. The way that I scalp is that, not saying it's wrong or right. And, I'm looking for very, very quick and fast moves to get in and out. You're looking for, 1.5, 2 points, and usually leaving a runner. And with this, I think I find higher probability setups with very, very quick entries and very, very quick movements. The whole idea, and then kind of looking on the smaller chart here on the 4 range, is that we're looking for aggressiveness moving out of the zones or to these zones, like something like this, where this buyer, right? I think we're looking right here where we can see that we double bottomed here and we had an aggressive push up. The whole idea is that on this side, when we initially push, which yes, I could have got long, and I think I did get long, was that there's probably some leftover orders somewhere around here. There's some bigger player that wanted to either get long or either wanted to join the market, but didn't have the opportunity to. So when price came back to this area, there was some leftover orders sitting there. This kind of brings me to my next point, and that is why I am specifically using this chart right here, this footprint. The footprint on the right side shows the buyers. On the left side shows the sellers. The whole idea behind it, so you're actually getting a pretty strong push up here. I wouldn't be surprised if we break here. If we reject here, we're going to have a very, very hard fall down. I think we're pushing through. Sorry, I'm just talking while it's going on. Also, we're going to be reviewing some other charts too on TradingView. I could scalp this, but I don't really want to because it's a very, very aggressive move. You can see that we had some sort of smaller demand here. Again, it's nighttime. It's pretty late where I'm at, but I just wanted to make sure that I went over charts. Anyways, the right side is buyers, left side is sellers. What I'm mainly looking for a lot of the time is that, for example, when we came up to this peak right here at 3984, right here, 3984, we can see that there were buyers up here on the right side, but zero sellers, but price still came down. So that's showing me that previously when we broke out of here, that there was some sort of leftover orders. Again, I'm seeing it again here. It looks like there is a passive seller still sitting here. I mean, I'm not going to stab it because my rule is I don't trade at night. But what the ideal situation would be, so I'm going to go back to where we were earlier today. 2985 is that you can see that very, very aggressive and massive sellers came through here. Even the delta is showing that. So there's some sort of leftover orders sitting around here. They wanted to join the book. They wanted to join this move very, very quickly, but never got the opportunity to. So these are orders left over here. Now look, we're actually rejecting a little bit. So you can see that maybe some of these leftover passive orders are getting bought. And on the other side of it too is that there's only 9 buyers on this push up here versus 25 the first time. So the push is getting weaker and weaker. Again, I'm not taking this trade. Usually the ideal setup when you're trading counter trend specifically is that you kind of want to take the first test. If we pull back into here, like I'm willing to take this trade. Usually I like to take the retest in some sense. Anyway, so that's kind of the little gist of it. So I'll be giving trade updates as we go. Again, I'm doing the Take Profit Trader evaluation account. I'm up about $250, or now I'm up over $250. I ended up taking a long earlier today off of this before I went to go play some men's league hockey. So, but we're aiming for $600 and $900 a day if we can to pass that. Again, we get 30 days. I think I'll be fine if I'm making $300 a day, but I have to hit $9,000. But anyways, that's not part of this. So we're going to go and look at the ES chart here. I set on my ES chart a few things. Buy and sell volume. Usually look at it at a 15-minute, which is a kind of, see the overall picture. I don't really I don't really use it that much, just more so just kind of gauge an overall trend, and also look at volume as well too. Volume is very, very heavy. Then I'll be looking for, and it's also candle structure. Okay, here it's like I don't know if I would really want to take this short because this candle just engulfed all these previous candles here. Although we are getting some rejection. But overall, the picture, I also have a different chart too. I have a God in a 30-minute. Usually this 30-minute chart is technically an hour. This is where I really use for the higher time frame. And, it's like looking at the overall picture. You can see here this was previous demand that got broken through to, and now is acting as some sort of supply. In my opinion, markets are still downtrending. People are, I don't know. People in my mind are freaking crazy thinking that we're already done. China's blowing up. Just letting you guys know that if you don't know that. We're trending downwards, 3 touches. Again, we've been here before. Don't get super euphoric. We still have a lot to go, in my opinion. I'm not saying that I'm going to be shorting every pop or everything. I'm going to be trading intraday, but, I have a long time for my trading career and my investing career. One thing I really do want to look at is crude oil today, too. Pretty interesting moves. Again, we were in a pretty strong downtrend channel. This is an area that I consider demand. This is where we initially bounced and made a very, very large move. I still think that we revisit this area. $68, $64. One thing that I've heard is that $90, we won't get a war until a price of oil is over $90. So once we see that back over $90 again, a little scary. I like looking at the dollar as well. The dollar, in my opinion, as well, is at a pretty big inflection point. The dollar kind of is the centerpiece of the whole world's financial system, whether you like it or not. I personally do think that we're going to end up going up to $1.20 here, and things are going to get very, very messy. Looking at this, though, that we do, are in an uptrend, as we do see here. And, we're just going to pull back, test these tops here, pull back in some area, and I think we're going to continue upwards. More so if you look at like a weekly candle, we're kind of sitting, in my opinion, some sort of pretty strong demand. Again, the way that I consider demand is that, we based out had a very strong move out candle and continued the uptrend. You consider this demand as well. You can consider many of these demand on the way up, but this one seems more prominent, very close to the trend line, and very close to a point of previous resistance that's now support. So I'm kind of watching that as well too. My biggest one that I'm watching right now, I don't really like watching currencies, but I am. /J6. Let's go 6. I don't know. I looked it up. I just looked it up. It's Japanese futures. Forex. Japanese futures. Yeah, here. 6J. That's what it is, 6J. So, yen is usually looked at as a pretty stable currency. And the only time we've really ever seen it do this is because of this high inflationary environment. But the problem right now that's happening in the world is that there's this China protest. And we're actually starting to see some money flow back into the yen. And the reason why that it's important is because the yen is looked as a safe haven. So back in, late August, early July, we were sitting around here. Inflation's still high, the dollar's pretty strong right now, but for example, today, I'll kind of just give you guys some examples that the market went down. Like the US market went down. All the other currencies went down, but the yen went up. The reason why that is important is because if you look at it where if something really bad is happening, the safest place to go is cash or dollars. So that's why we probably seen our dollar rising. Vice versa, if you're in the middle Asia or in Asia or China, Taiwan, whatever, shit's hitting the fan, you're probably going to go to the yen because that is a stable currency that and that you trust right there. And that's in the same kind of vicinity of the world. In my opinion, if we see some sort of candle structure like this here blowing up into this August level, that means the China situation is serious and something's going on. Again, kind of just looking at emerging markets overall, though. I mean, they've been absolutely slaughtered. Again, these trends have been drawn months ago. But in my opinion, there's no real point to actually even buy any of this. Same with Bitcoin in a way. I am bullish overall on Bitcoin for the long term, but you look at this, there's no point to be buying this. Again, it's still, technically it broke out of this downtrend with, whatever moves it's making here, but it just doesn't look attractive. Again, it's still sitting in this demand zone, but nothing looks attractive at these valuations right now. And things are just dumb. All right, that's kind of my nightly talk. Let's see what the market did here. Yeah, so we're pushing to making new highs here. Again, I'm a very big, retest and redo it, kind of, trader in a way. But again, this is bullish structure moving upwards. I was fine taking the trade on the first test, but not on the second test. I do still think that this is a pretty strong area that we will get rejected into. But yeah, usually if you break through an area, I usually just mark it off. And yeah, if we make some pretty solid moves up, I might have to mark this area as new demand. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to try to do this daily. I'm going to probably go over more of my trade entries tomorrow, and since I'll be home.